And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the GSL 2025 GSL Season 1 Round of 8 Group A, the group stage here. We have our top 8 players, and we're here to determine the first player to make it through into the semi-finals. Let's go. We have wrapped up our first 2 matches. Now we're here with the winner's match with herO and ByuN. Game 1 is going to be on ley lines. Let's go. We do have our first game. Jumping right on in. Are we gonna get any mid-game, Pappy? I doubt it. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. We go. As our PvTs do continue again, here he had a very intense, very clutch series against Cure. Again, a lot of aggression from both players in their own way. Cure, for the most part, going for more aggressive builds, and herO able to counteract that, able to punish that, and able to, yeah, I think punish is probably the best word against Cure. Meanwhile, ByuN moving out with the eBay block. Let's go. SCV does move out. This is something that we did not see at all out of Cure, but ByuN is very fond of it in his own TVP matchup. Going to be hiding that SCV and moving in to delay the expansion and disrupt the opener of herO. eBay moves in. And herO, he does spot this. Ooh, nice scout by herO. He does spot this barely ahead of time. And with that herO, he can pull the boys. He will pull the boys. He will delay. He will disrupt this eBay and expand. So again, ideally this could have been so much worse, but unfortunately for ByuN, I think he went in 1 second too early. So here he was able to scout that eBay with the first probe, just barely did scout it. Upon doing so, he can then pull the boys, he can force a cancel, and here it can expand. Ideally, if this didn't get scouted, then ByuN would have almost completed the eBay, would have pulled out, would have pulled away, and because it would have been so much HP, so much health on the eBay, because it had so much progression on it, then herO would be forced to expand elsewhere. He would be forced to expand at the 3rd base location instead, and then ByuN can punish that and be assertive and be aggressive, go into Hellions and go for run-bys. But here he does maintain his low ground. Likewise, behind this, ByuN getting into his own CC on the high ground, single gas opener. And we are settling in. Going to be settling in. We have our tech of choice here. Twilight Council out of herO. Opening up Twilight Council. Likewise, Reactor Marine production here by ByuN. No add-on swap into Reactor Hellion or Reactor Widowmine. herO does have control of the low ground, and he will lose the probe. Not bad. ByuN picks up the worker, pulls away, and gets across the map. Takes a lot of hits in the process, but should barely get away. Does slip by. Meanwhile, how many gateways for herO? So far, I believe that is the 2nd gateway. A 2nd gate's on the way. So far, getting to 2-gate blink. And we'll see if herO expands from here or gets extra gateways. Meanwhile, ByuN going for his bio mine drop. And this is a very different change of pace. Again, Cure went for non-stop all-ins. He went for non-stop all-ins last game or last series. As Cure, he was hyper aggressive and hyper committed. Here, ByuN going for a standard opener. Like, bearing in mind, Cure at no point in his series did he ever open up Widowmine drop. Like, this is just a very standard way to open up. This does provide the Terran player scouting information to get a read on what's happening, on what their opponent's up to, on what's going on. My drop moves out. ByuN setting up back at home. It's going to be more delayed tank production. I say delayed. Delayed compared to what Cure was going for. ByuN is making his way into the main. ByuN does boost in, heads into the main, Stalker's in position, and the Widowmine's A shouldn't get much done here. herO does pull away. Oh! Nice retargeting. The blink though. Yeah, blinks out of the range. Oh, takes down the medevac, takes down the Widowmine, and with that, ByuN doesn't get anything. He kills 0 units. As the mine shot was baited out, medevac fell. ByuN, he at least scouted the tech, he at least saw a gateway, but didn't see much else at the natural. And with that, herO gains map control. Moving out, it is going to be 3-gate blink into a 3rd base. Prism is on the way. Yeah, the gas was taken at the natural, so here he can be more assertive. He can be more aggressive. He will still expand, but he has a way. I mean, he has the means to reinforce. Okay, what do we have? Tank in the natural, tank in the main. Sim is on the way. Raven harasser towards the natural base. Here he does get eyes on the army. And does commit to the shade. Here pulls away some marines. Heads towards the natural. Does not get the tank. ByuN is ready. ByuN even pre-pulled the boys. Oh, has to be careful though. Does go back to mining. herO perks in, but again the tanks are secure and ByuN holds. ByuN, he does hold on. These Stalkers that haven't gotten much. Remember here, he delayed his own 3rd base in favor of warping in extra Stalkers. So here he needs to find some damage. Observer gets caught. ByuN is keeping up. He's keeping up. Here he gets behind the mineral line. Gets an SCV. Right now, there's so much pressure on herO to contain and to get whatever damage he can. SCVs, depots, marines. Just because of how late the 3rd base is for herO. And he's achieving some damage. Oh, he wants it. He wants the tank. Blinks in. ByuN pulls away at the wrong moment. ByuN is punished. Tank goes down. Nice pick off here by herO. He does trade out to 3 Stalkers. Still a better fight. But ByuN breaks out. And this should have been with 3 tanks. But now down to 2. Does move out across the map again. It's going to be here to slow this down. Behind this, Warping and Zealous charge is halfway done. And Colossus production also on the way. Oh. Let's get his Colossus. Here he still needs more time. He's not ready. As ByuN breaks out. Picks away those Stalkers. Takes down more of them. Tanks about to siege. And a brutal missile goes off on the Zealots. On the Stalkers. So far the first Colossus has arrived. Here he has bought enough time. Just barely. And here he should be able to hold on. I say that Colossus, where are we going? Yeah, ByuN, he sees the army, he sees what he's up against, and he doesn't like what he sees. He backs off, gets the hell out of here. Now that charge is done, now that the first Colossus has arrived, here he has more than enough. And you can see how momentum swings from one player to the other. Here he was in danger until he finishes upgrades, until the first Colossus arrives. And now herO gains map control. Behind this, ByuN expanding, getting his 3rd CC location. And the game progresses. And we got there. Again, this is the kind of game state that we did not have at all last series. Just because of the non-stop all-ins. But now, again, we have a slower start, a slower early game. Now getting to the mid-game. 4th base is on the way for herO. We're macroing up. From here, herO is working towards Disruptors. From here, ByuN is working towards Ghosts. Ghost Academy is done. Ghosts and Vikings are on the way. Again, we're building up into a longer game state. Right now, the pressure's on herO to maintain map control. You can see here he has pylons all over the place to make sure he keeps up with drop play. Getting his 4th base. Pylons towards the top side as well. Drop play is where ByuN can thrive. herO is aware of that. So herO just backing up. As herO supply the army with their reinforcements. And ByuN's okay. ByuN is in position, deflects the zealots, and herO he has no intention of really breaking through here. The prison does slip into the main though, not bad. Gets an SCV. Just the one. ByuN he defends well. Cleans up the drops. Zealots they do hit the 3rd, but once again he gets caught out. Oh, brutal loss here for herO. Letting out a lot of charge lots. One zealot gets in. Gets a couple of SCVs. But remember, here he's just buying time for what? For disruptors. He has how many? 4. Soon to be 6. The Novas are coming out. We'll see if he can catch ByuN. First Nova does connect. Bleeds out a disruptor though. That was 1. 1 disruptor going down. Rotating over. Heading towards that southern base. herO trying to keep up. He's trying. Missile goes off. Decent connection. ByuN just has to avoid those Novas. Ooh, will lose a Ghost though. Ghost goes down. 1 Colossus does fall. There's still 1 left. And ByuN looks like he will barely break through. He's trying to break the expansion. He's turning back the army. Nexus will fall. A nice setup here from ByuN. Takes down the base. Takes down the Nexus. Here he avoids the army, catching reinforcements. Gets another Ghost. ByuN has to race back. He's trying to keep up. Here he's still in 4 disruptors. He has to make them count. Trying to move in. Again, he graces the army. Nothing major. And this is allowing herO to build up his 4th base. His 5th base even. As he bleeds out. Oh, another disruptor. Disruptor does pull away in time. Charge, I'll say, do dive in. Not the worst trade from herO. He does get almost every single Viking. Yeah, Viking kind of gets reset. He go back into Colossus. Oh my god, brutal connection. And herO, he does take the fight. Bearing in mind that ByuN is contained on 3 bases. And instead of a 4th CC, he's throwing down more Vaxes. Okay. More Vaxes on the way. Here he's on 4 bases. He saves bottom right. He's on 5. And because hero's being so aggressive, remember, this base should be dead. ByuN, he had knocked down the 4th base. He is aware of this base, not like he was unscouted. But because of hero's counterattack, ByuN, he had to respect it. He had to respect it. So ByuN, he had to leave and abandon this base. Also, my apologies. 4CC was done, so he does land. Does land the 4th base, building up his Raxes. Had no CC. And ByuN, he's down to how many Vikings? 1. Down to 1 Viking. So going back into Colossus production. Hero's maxed out. And ByuN's in trouble. Zero gets punished by the tanks. Looking for another way in. As ByuN is still only on 1 Viking. Oh, takes out the prison though. SCMP, never going to be going off. Brutal connections, yeah, 2 do connect. Nice target firing out of ByuN, but it's not enough. Not good enough here. Colossus are breaking through. Nice EMP on the Stalkers. Once again, the Stalkers are so low. Oh my god. Stalkers, they go down to the planetary. ByuN holds. ByuN, he barely holds on. Here he still takes a greater fight. Here he still has a greater economy. Here can be the first to remax. And again, ByuN, he fought well there, but he's still behind economically. He still can't keep up macro-wise with herO. And he lost all the ghosts. He lost every ghost. It's a rebuild once again. herO, he's already on 4 Colossus. Jesus. And herO is overwhelming. Being cheeky. So with the disruptor. That's the only disruptor that herO has. Yeah, herO just gonna brute force it. Without any goes, without any EMPs. Yeah, he should be fine. Does dive in. There's 3 Vikings left. Colossus, they don't care. And here he overwhelms and breaks through the main army. And again, ByuN was so committed earlier, and he did break the base, but that's all he got. All he achieved. Nexus goes down, Planetary goes down, GG gets called, and herO takes game number 1. Whew, GG. And again, a really strong decision there from herO to counterattack when he did. I'm referring to the moment when ByuN broke the 4th. Like ByuN, he was in control. He broke the 4th base, he was bullying the main army. ByuN, it was looking very strong, very in form, very in control of that game. And then herO, instead of engaging with the army, he counterattacked. ByuN saw the army moving out, and he had to respect it. He had to race back home, which means, I mean, he lost that momentum. He wasn't able to keep going, otherwise he could have killed more bases, more of the economy. But herO did save it by counterattacking. And with that, GG. GG, well played. herO, he does take a lead in the series. And now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Game 2 is going to be on Tokamak. And once herO forced ByuN back, then herO, he got into his own 5-base setup. Was able to be the first to max out. And GG. Even though he did at times take some worse fights, he had the economy to sustain it. Like, he can afford to trade more inefficiently. And here we go. Getting into game 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Twisted Minds, leading the series 1-0. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Go. As herO tells poke in. Let's poke in. Likewise, ByuN, he does go for an economic opener once again. He does go for a single gas into a faster CC. Likewise, this time there is no eBay blocker across the map, so here he can expand freely. He can settle in. So there's that Nexus. Nexus is on the way. There's a command center on the high ground. herO does confirm. And we'll get out. So just another really big change of pace here. Like, very different TVPs that we're experiencing between ByuN and Cure. Where Cure was hyper aggressive and ByuN has been more, I don't know if I want to say passive. Later games, I should say. More of a fixation on economy. Building up into later game states. Factories on the way. And we'll see if herO does switch things up. Again, here he's willing to not just always go Twilight Council every game. He's willing to go into a Robo, willing to go Stargate. Mix up how many gateways he throws down. Willing to adjust. He's willing. Of course, I feel like last night was an example of that. If you missed out, I do recommend the VODs where we actually casted herO versus Clem in last night's Water TV Monday Grand Finals, the best of 5. And herO was looking insane in that best of 5. Meanwhile, Robo, we spoke about it, Robo opened out a herO. Very safe play out of our Protoss player. Interesting. So when it comes to our tech of choice, when it comes to builds and again tech choices for Protoss in this matchup, we have 3 options. We have the Robo, the Twilight Council, or the Stargate. Each one leads into a different style. Robo openers are typically considered to be very safe just because they allow you to get early Immortal production, early Observer production, and early Colossus as well. But here is being so assertive. Oh my god, it gets a Marine. Gets a Marine, and he might just go Prism first. If so, then he's just going to double down. Gets another Marine. He's opening Observer, never mind. So playing safe. Meanwhile, nice guiding here at the herO, bleeds out 1 Stalker. Oof, bleeds out a 2nd Stalker as well. I mean, he trades and he still maintains control of the low ground. That's all he cares about. He controls the low ground, he controls the natural. ByuN cannot expand. And ByuN's being contained on 1 base. 3rd CC. Let's go. 1-1-1 into a 3rd CC. I mean, this is to recover. ByuN knows he's falling behind economically, so how do you recover? Double expand. Very greedy here from ByuN, but very necessary. It's either rush into a 3rd CC or go for a 2 base all in. And we now know the answer. Hellion goes down. Another Observer's on the way, so again, this is a safe build here from herO. Did go, actually, sorry, my apologies, Observer into Prism. So it can be active. Observer gets spotted. And herO, he did not see the 3rd CC. He's not aware of how greedy ByuN is being. If he was aware, he would move out with everything. He'd move out with the entire army. And he could probably kill ByuN. Just because he could leapfrog and head into the main and just bypass the low ground. But for now, herO just going for some harassment. Forge on the way, gases are being taken, Twilight Council. You can see here he's staying on 2 bases that much longer, getting up to full 2 base saturation first before expanding. He spots the command center, he delays. Oof, just barely. Delays the CC, he can one-shot SCVs. Getting up to 4, getting up to 5. 5 SCV kills and a delay on the expansion. Here been looking good over the past 24-ish hours. Here been looking good for the past 6 months. Like, here he's been on the rise ever since the off season. So I want to say like last year November, last year October. Has been popping off. I say 6 months. We're already in May. Jesus. Coming up on 7 months. Oh god. It's like, I'll be honest, it feels like the year just started. I think part of it is because like this is still the first season of GSL and we haven't had like an offline event yet this year, right? Because of the off season. So the passage of time feels weird, but yeah, halfway through the year already. Crazy. But now though, we do back off. ByuN, again, because of the faster third CC, he has no aggressive potential here. He's been stuck at home the entire time until now. Now the medivacs have arrived, and now he can break out. He can be active with drop play as he claims his third. Meanwhile, herO, because he saw the third base, he knows how safe he is. So herO's been just focusing on his economy, building up his immortals, being safe, getting into Colossus production. Again, this is the kind of tech path that you go down when you open up Robo, is safety immortals into Colossus. It does mean that something like Blink is late. You can see Blink is very delayed compared to game 1. That's all because of the tech of choice, all because of the opener of herO. And because ByuN is being very greedy, because ByuN is focusing on his economy and getting a third Nexus or third CC, that means the herO is safe. Like he's not being punished for having any kind of later tech. He's catching up, getting a fourth base. herO's looking very confident. So I want to say this is maybe the most passive, the most passive game we've had so far in today's broadcast, but a lot of it is just because of the openers and the damage that herO dealt early on. Oh, Jesus, so we get five probes? Hey. 5 probes go down. But remember, it's only passive because herO killed so much at the start of the game with his early Stalker aggression. So there's a give and take. Maybe he's going to DreamHack. It's difficult because of GSL, right? Like, it's hard to say. I don't think we know exactly who's going, but it's a hard decision for the Koreans because GSL Season 1 wrapped up, and GSL Season 2, as I mentioned, the qualifiers for GSL Season 2 were 2 days ago, and the GSL season starts next week. So there's just, yeah, a lot going on. So it is hard to make that decision to travel. I know that Maru isn't going, right? Like Maru, he's not going to Dallas. Oh, actually, sorry. I should say Maru's not going to Star Zagora. I don't know if Maru is or isn't going to Dallas. That I'm not so certain of. I'm pretty sure Zan is. I think Zan is. I know herO is. CranKy made a tweet recently, and I think he listed who's going, at least from the Team Vitality side. And I believe it is herO and Zan. I believe. At least those two. He does rotate. Likewise, Prism into the main. Steps on in. Not too many weapons available, unfortunately. Here he's supply blocked. Oh god. Not the time you want to be supply blocked, as herO could not warp anything else in. Likewise, main army going to be forced back. Disruptor's coming in. Tanks are in position. Never goes off. Oof. No major connection. ByuN holds. He holds onto the third base. Behind this, herO double expanding, getting a fourth base, getting a fifth base as well. Going to be up 2 bases. This is a scary thing about being passive against a Protoss player at this level. In PvT, it's very common that if the Protoss player gains map control, they mass expand. They get up to 4, 5, 6 bases. They eclipse the economy of the Terran, and the Terran is contained. Like, momentum does shift drastically in favor of the Protoss. Meanwhile, ByuN coming in from behind, and never goes off. Chasing back herO. herO pulling away in time. There are how many Vikings? 12. 12 Vikings, that should be enough. It's a hefty Viking count. Zalza coming from behind. He wants a tank. And he gets 1. He gets 1. He gets 2. Oh, God. Does he get all 3? Jesus. 3 tanks go down. Very nice run by. Meanwhile, the Colossus are exposed. Never goes off. More disruptors amassing. herO getting a 6th expansion and a 7th, so double expanding. As we mentioned, like it's very common in TVP for the Protoss to mass expand. Likewise, Vikings being targeted down. Nice control there by herO. We had 12 Vikings, now down to 8. 8 Vikings left. herO forcing his way in. Ooh, takes down the Ghost. Decent EMP. There's a handful of Ghosts left. As reinforcements have arrived, Vikings, they go for the dive. They get 1 Colossus. Ah, just the 1. We go from 8 Vikings down to 1. Oh, down to 0. Every Viking goes down. 0 Vikings left. We're making 4 Vikings at a time. They just now popped out. Vikings, they just arrived. Oh. So we're bringing more Zealots. And here, he's just overwhelming. Again, like here, he's on 7 bases. Yeah, takes out the planetary, overwhelms the main army, and ByuN just cannot keep up. Even if he kills every Colossus, there's just not enough on the ground. Not anymore. As herO does overwhelm again, you leave herO alone, and this is what happens. Like, Jesus. Up to 82 workers, still maxed out, and GG gets called. herO, he will claim the series 2-0, being the first to make it out of the group stage into the semis. GG. GG, well played. Again, ByuN, he was forced to double expand, if you remember, at the start of the game because it was taking so many losses. He had to make a choice, either double expand or go for a 2-base all-in. He made his choice. He did choose to go for the expansion. He was delayed though. Here he got a full scout. He was aware of how greedy ByuN was being, and here he kind of met that greed and even surpassed that greed as well by rushing into his 3rd base, rushing into his 4th base, rushing into 4-base saturation, and maintaining map control. And it can be quite oppressive from the Terran side to be up against that sort of style, to relinquish map control. That's also why we saw a lot of aggression at a Cure, and why we often see a lot more aggression in the mid game from the side of Terran, is to apply pressure to make sure that doesn't happen, to make sure that they're able to contain the Protoss and break the Protoss ahead of time. Otherwise, they can get out of hand. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO does claim the series, and now we're making our way into the elimination match. So here he's the first out. He's the first to make it through. If you're a fan of ByuN, don't worry, because ByuN is still in the group, but he is waiting for the winner of our next series. As up next is the elimination match, we have Cure up against Rogue in a ZVT. Let's go.